I call your name out from the valley, you come, you come. And when I call your name out from the hills, you come, you come. I wanna be where you are, 'cause you are where I am. I wanna be where you are, 'cause you are where I am. Yeah. Oh, when I call your name out from the valley, yeah. You come, you come. And when I call your name out from the hills, Yahuwah, said I wanna be. Oh, oh, you're where I am. Yeah. I wanna be where you are. You are where I am. Said those who dwell in the secret place. Say those who dwell. Shall abide with the shadow, yeah. Of the Almighty. Said I will dwell in the secret place. I will dwell in the secret place. I will dwell in the secret place. I will abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Say we will dwell. Another shadow, hey. You shall cover me with your feathers, and your wings will I trust in you. We will dwell, for you are with us. Your rod and your staff, they comfort us. We will dwell. You're my shield. You're my buckler. I will not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow by day. A thousand shall fall at my side, and 10,000 at my right hand, but you shall not come nigh unto me. Sound the well in the secret place of the Most High, yeah. And I wanna be where, 'cause you are where I am, yeah.
Esau. Arguably the second greatest biblical villain of all times, second only to Satan himself. Esau's hatred for his brother Jacob lasted for thousands of years, and it continues to this very day. He is Israel's #1 enemy, primary persecutor, the one who has a perpetual hatred for his own brother, Jacob. His hatred for his brother and for the Most High Yah has earned him a special place in Yah's judgment. Esau's the only race which has an entire book of the Bible dedicated to his destruction by the hands of the Messiah himself, the book of Obadiah. Esau is the king of evil, and sometimes referred to in Scripture as Satan himself. Let's uncover Esau's dark past by first starting at the beginning, by starting at the blessing that was sold for a bowl of soup. Let's begin in the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verse 34, where Esau sells his birthright to Jacob by an oath. And when the time came for him to receive his birthright blessing from his father, Isaac, he did not tell his father that he had sold it. Instead, he attempted to break his oath and take the blessing for himself. However, Jacob, with the help of his mother, tricked Isaac into rightfully giving the blessing to Jacob. And when Esau learned of this trickery, he was furious. And it reads, "And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me, even me also, my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and has taken away your blessing." Verse 38, "And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, and thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck." And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, "The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob." Hebrews 12, verse 16. "Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Esau was rejected by the Most High Yah and found no place of repentance. Instead, Esau made himself to be the chief enemy of the Most High Yah and his people. Keep not thou silent, O Yah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yah. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom. Esau would go on to live in a place called Idumea, Basra, Uz, Mount Seir, and Petra. And from there, he would go on to spread his seed around the world, according to prophecy. And according to prophecy and DNA, we know that Esau would go on to mix his seed throughout the earth, hiding in plain sight in every nation. In order to find Esau today, we need to look at the various names used throughout the Bible to identify Esau, such as Edom, or by the names of his descendants. Genesis chapter 25, verse 30 reads, And Esau said unto Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Esau was also called by the title Duke. In fact, he was the very first to carry that title. Genesis chapter 36, verse 15 reads, These were the dukes of the sons of Esau, the sons of Eliphaz, the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Teman, Duke Omar, Duke Zepho, Duke Kenaz. Notable dukes were Zepho, who conquered Kittim, which is Greece, and Amalek, father of the Amalekites. Jasher, chapter 64, verse 25 reads, And Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, king of Kittim, or Greece. Jasher, chapter 90, verse 30 reads, Edom became one kingdom with the children of Kittim all the days. The dukes of Esau mixed themselves with the seed of Japhet in Greece. Two nations mixed together under one kingdom called Greece. Not only did Esau's dukes live in Greece, they also lived in Basra, in Mount Seir. It's here we find Esau mixing his seed with a mysterious people. You see, in Mount Seir, there were things or beings referred to in the Bible as giants or Nephilim. They were given the following names in the Bible. The Rephaim, which is Strong's 87497, which means, paradoxically, it could mean dead or ghosts. The Zuzim, Strong's 82104, meaning roving beast. The Emim, Strong's 8368, means terrors. Or the Horim, which is the Horites, Strong's 82752, means cave dwellers, whom Esau mixed his seed with. These beings lived in Mount Seir, were not descendants from Noah. Then the question would be, if they're not descendants from Noah, then whose seed are they? Who else had a seed upon the earth other than Noah? Genesis chapter 3, verse 14 reads, And Yah said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle, above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Regarding Genesis chapter 3, we see that Eve has a literal, physical seed, and therefore the serpent would also have a literal, physical seed as well. You see, Esau mixed himself with a mysterious group called the Horites in Mount Seir. The word Horite means cave dwellers, and the word Seir means hairy and shaggy. Esau mixed his seed with the people we would call today cavemen, and scientists refer to cavemen as Neanderthals. Traits such as long, shaggy hair, pale skin are traits passed down by the Neanderthals to humans. It's a scientific fact that humans and Neanderthals interbred first in the area called the Middle East today. Genesis chapter 36, verse 19 reads, "These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite, who inhabited the land, Lotan, and Shobal, and Zebeon, and Anah, and Dishon, and Ezer, and Dishon. These are the dukes of the Horites, the children of Seir, in the land of Edom." Jeremiah 49 verse 10 reads, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not." Just like the Horites, Esau began living in caves in the cliffs of the rock. Esau's seed was indeed spoiled. His seed mixed with Horite cavemen, along with other races of men upon the earth. Ironically, scientists also confirm mixing between Neanderthals and humans first occurred in the Middle East. They also confirmed pale skin, red and blonde hair came as a result of mixing with Neanderthals. If so, then where did Esau's red hair come from? Neanderthals were red and hairy, and Esau was red and hairy. Genesis chapter 25 verse 25 reads, "And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau." According to scientific studies, DNA mutations for blonde or red hair were not found in ancient Europe before the Bronze Age. The article goes on to state, and I quote, "It seems that fair skin and blonde or red hair were originally passed on to Homo sapiens in the Middle East or Central Asia, rather than in Europe," end quote. All right, well, let's review. Esau sold his blessing for a bowl of soup. He became the enemy of Yisrael and the Most High Yah, and he was the first dukes upon the earth. And last but not least, he mixed his seed with Horite cavemen in Mount Seir. Again, a people who don't descend from Noah, which implies Horites descend from the seed of the serpent. The Nephilim, also referred to as the giants, also referred to as the Raphaim, which can paradoxically mean dead or ghost-like, a wraith, or the Zuzim, which means roving beast, or the Emin, which means terrors. All of these Nephilim lived in the area of Mount Seir, alongside the Horim, or the Horites, south of the Dead Sea. Esau's descendants who fled into Greece brought their building practices with them. As you can see, buildings in Greece match Esau's buildings found in Petra, and Esau's buildings in Petra match Esau's buildings in Rome. This is yet more proof that Esau mixed with Greece, who mixed with Rome. Joel chapter 3 verse 4 reads, "Oh, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have you sold unto the Grecians, that you might remove them far from their border." Now note that Joel 3 states that Tyre sold Judah to the Greeks. However, the book of Amos words it a little differently. Now Amos chapter 1 verse 9 reads, "Thus saith Yah, for 3 transgression of Tyre and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they have delivered," or sold, "up the whole captivity to Edom, and remembered not the brotherly covenant." The book of Joel states that Tyre sold Judah to Greece. In regards to Esau or Edom being Rome, many historians have associated with Edom being Rome. Here are a few examples. Esau's association with Rome is significant because according to prophecy, the Messiah will destroy the divided nation of Rome. Take the book of Daniel, for example, and Nebuchadnezzar's dream. Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, dreamed of a statue whose head of gold represented the literal nation of Babylon. The chest of silver represented the literal nation of the Persians and the Medes, and the belly and the thighs of bronze represented the literal nation of Greece, and the legs of iron represented the literal nation of Rome, and the feet and the 10 toes mixed with the iron of Rome represents divided Rome. In fact, Rome was divided into 10 kingdoms, which would later become known as Europe. Now, according to this prophecy, the stone, which is uncut, which represents the Messiah, will rise up and strike and destroy the literal nations of Europe. Divided Rome. It's the Messiah against Europe. Esau created a Roman version of Christianity, a version which forced the children of Israel to break the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yah. Esau also used similar tactics in Judaism and Islam. In Judaism, it was King Herod who attempted to get the children of Israel to become lawless. Now, to pull this off, King Herod replaced the priest and the leaders with Edomites in an attempt to get Judah to break the Most High's laws.
And it reads, after Herod had destroyed the greatest part of his supposed enemies, he began to exhibit a marked contempt for the Jewish religion and laws. From the beginning of his reign to the final destruction of the temple, the high priests had no hereditary right, but were set up and removed at his pleasure, and that of his successors. He also destroyed the authority of the Grand Sanhedrin, and burnt the Jewish records, that he might be thought originally as an Israelite.
It's important to note that Esau was made a Jew between the book of Malachi and the book of Matthew. In other words, just before the time of the New Testament, thanks to the efforts of King Herod and John Hyrcanus, Esau was made a Jew. With that in mind, we need to keep in mind that during the New Testament, there were two Jews in Jerusalem. There were the Israelite Jews, who were the descendants of the children of Israel, and there were the Edomite Jews, descended from Esau, whose ancestors were never in bondage to any man. Let's look at the book of John, chapter 8, verse 31, which reads, Then said Yeshua to those Jews which believed on him, If you continue in my word, then you are my disciples indeed, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How says you, you shall be made free? Now notice that these Jews said that they were never in bondage to any man. Esau, or the descendants of Esau, were never in bondage to any man. However, the children of Israel were in bondage in Egypt. This is how we know that these Jews are Edomite Jews. Now, the Messiah goes on to tell these Edom Jews, whose seed is mixed with Horites, that Yeshua tells them, You are of the devil. Verse 42 reads, Yeshua said unto them, If Yah were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from Yah. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. Now note, it was Esau's descendants that plotted to kill the Messiah. Mark chapter 3 verse 6 reads, And the Pharisees went forth and straightway took counsel with the Herodians, that's King Herod, the Herodians, against him, how they might destroy them. It was these Herodian Jews of Esau's descent who were repeatedly called the devil by Christ. Revelations chapter 2 verse 9 reads, I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Revelations chapter 3 verse 9 reads, Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before your feet, and to know that I have loved you. The Bible, time and time again, defines Esau's descendants as being the agents of Satan, after he mixes his seeds with the Horites. Revelations 12 verse 3 reads, And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. Now, the king who attempted to devour or destroy the baby Messiah as soon as he was born was none other than Esau's descendant, King Herod, the very same descendants who later plotted to kill the adult Messiah. Let's look at the book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 13, which reads, And when they were departed, behold, the angel of Yah appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the child to destroy him. And Revelations 12 calls this red dragon, who attempted to destroy the baby Messiah, the Bible calls him the devil. Herod, the descendant of Esau, is called the devil. Revelations chapter 12, verse 9 reads, And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Of all the different names for Esau, one of the most condemning names is the daughter of Babylon. Esau is the daughter of Babylon. Psalms 137 verse 7 reads, Remember, O Yah, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as you have rewarded us. Ironically, Esau helped Babylon destroy the first temple of the Most High Yah. He then helped Rome destroy the second temple of the Most High Yah. With that in mind, it's no surprise that scriptures refers to Esau's judgment. It refers to it as the vengeance of Yah's temple. Jeremiah verse 50, verse 28 reads, The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of Yah, the vengeance of his temple. Verse 41, Behold, a people shall come from the north, a great nation, and many kings shall be raised from the coasts of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall war like the sea, and they shall ride upon the horses, everyone put in array, like a man to battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 11 reads, Make bright the bows, gather the shields. Yah has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yah, the vengeance of his temple. Verse 33 reads, For thus saith Yah of hosts, the Elohim of Israel, the daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. It is time to thresh her. Yet a little while, and the time of her harvest shall come. Esau is the daughter of Babylon. He's also called Babylon, and he's also called the devil, aka Lucifer. Now notice how these scriptures speak of Esau's Babylon and Satan interchangeably. Isaiah chapter 13 verse 1 reads, "The burden of Babylon which Isaiah son of Amos did see." Verse 6, "Howl ye, for the day of Yah is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty." Verse 12, "How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart,
I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth tremble, to shake the kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pits, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers that do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the earth with cities. For I will raise up against them, says Yah of hosts, and cut them off from Babylon, the name, the remnant, and the son, and the nephew, says Yah. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. As for our Redeemer, Yah of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou still and get thee into the darkness, O daughter of Chaldees, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people. I have polluted mine inheritance and given them into your hands. Thou did not show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid your yoke. And thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. And so that thou hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly and say in your heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of your sorceries, and for the great abundance of your enchantments. For thou hast trusted in your wickedness, and hast said, None seeth me. Your wisdom and your knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in your heart, I am, and none else beside me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, and thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to cut it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. You see, over and over again, the Most High Yah will destroy Esau, or the daughter of Babylon, in the last days. Isaiah uses different names to describe the people who will be destroyed by the Messiah in the last days. He will destroy Esau, the daughter of Babylon, using nations from the north. And he will destroy Esau, living in Basra, when he returns to the land of Israel. Now, in this scripture, Esau is called by his Greek name, Idumea. Come near, you nations, to hear and hearken, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yah is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them, he hath delivered them to the slaughter. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses, and the mountains shall be melted with their blood, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, and upon the people of my curse to judgment. The sword of Yah is filled with blood. It is made fat with the fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, and with the fat of the kidneys of the rams. For Yah has made a sacrifice in Basra, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. And the unicorns shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with the fatness. For it is the day of Yah's vengeance, and the year of recompense for the controversy of Zion. Isaiah chapter 63 verse 1 reads, Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury. And their blood shall be sprinkled upon mine garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeeming is come. Hear the word of Yah, you that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, Let Yah be glorified, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed. A voice of noise came from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yah that rendereth recompense to his enemies. Before she travailed, she brought forth. Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man-child. Who hath heard such a thing? Who hath seen such a thing? Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day? Or shall a nation be born at once? For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children. Shall I bring to the birth, and not cause to bring forth, saith Yah? Shall I cause to bring forth, and shut up the womb, saith Yah? Rejoice you in Jerusalem, and be glad with her, and all you that love her. Rejoice for joy with her, and all you that mourn for her, that you may suck and be satisfied with the breast of her consolations, that you may milk out and be delighted with the abundance of her glory. For thus saith Yah, Behold, I will extend peace to her like a river, and the glory of the Gentiles like a flowing stream. Then shall you suck, and you shall be borne upon her sides, and be dandled upon her knees. As one whom his mother comforted, so will I comfort you, and you shall be comforted in Jerusalem. And when you see this, your heart shall rejoice, and your bones shall flourish like an herb. And the hand of Yah shall be known towards his servants, and his indignation towards his enemies. For behold, Yah will come with fire, and with his chariots like the whirlwind, to render his anger and fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yah plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yah shall be many. And it shall come to pass, that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another shall all flesh come worship before me, saith Yah. Well, Israel, hopefully you've learned a lot about Esau and the judgment to come. To find Esau today, don't look for one specific race, color, or people, because Esau is an expert chameleon. He's mixed his seed in every race and people on the earth. He's black in Africa, he's Caucasian in Europe, he's Chinese in Asia, he's Jewish in Israel, he's Muslim in the Middle East, and he's Christian around the world. With that in mind, the best way to find Esau is by his calling card. Remember, Esau lives by the sword. So whenever you hear of mass murders by shooting, or hate crime attacks with knives, or mass killings, or someone who has hatred for the so-called blacks scattered around the world, well, be on your guard, because that's the call sign of Esau. All right, family. Well, thanks again for taking the time to watch and share. A special thanks to Brother Stacy and Brother Edward and our Patreon supporters. And also thank you to those who support through donations. And most importantly, thank you to those who continue to lift me, my family, and the whole house of Israel up in your thoughts and prayers. Shalom.
Shalom and Semi Israel. That concludes our telecast for tonight.
I get so excited when I think of all the things you've done for me. Do as you will, you weren't done with me. Oh yeah, 'cause I'm tired of fighting. Sometimes it gets hard, I cannot do it alone. 'Cause I need you, yeah, on my side. You are the light up high, to worship you. My knees, all praise to you. All praise to you. Up high, to worship you. My knees, all praise to you. I vow to be humble. Yah, hearken to my sincere supplication. When I'm weak and when I stumble, you are always there to catch me when I fall. You are my rock and salvation, only one that I can trust. You're my best friend. Whenever I'm in doubt, to you I'll give a shout. With hands held high, I'll be calling on your name. Yeah, I reign to worship you. Bow down, all praise to you. All praise to you. Up high, to worship you. Yeah, I need you. I need you. Yeah, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you. Oh, I need you. Oh, I need you. I need you. Oh, I need you. Up high to worship you. So I bow down on my knees. All praise up high to worship you. Bow down, all praise.